on now.
Okay,
Recording in progress.
all righty. So call the meeting to order for the Budget and Finance Committee for Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council. Roll call, Lori,
Here.
John,
Yeah.
Vic,
Here.
Melanie. Yeah, I think I'm here. So the first item that we have is the MER, which we don't have because we're meeting on the 2nd and the MERs don't come out until the 5th. So we'll have to have a motion and a second and a vote at the board.
Excuse me, point of order. Did you skip the general public comments?
Oh, I sure did. Oh, sorry. Well, bad girl, I missed the first page.
Thank you, John, for catching that. We want to be kosher.
Okay, so
Yeah.
comment first. Anybody have public comment?
I could tell you guys this. I talked to Andy Harris on the skate park, and moving along, they're doing a great job. They got guys that come out and clean up weekly. The 2 containers that are there have gotten beautiful murals put on it. And if you look at the murals, it's San Pedro. It's a mural of San Pedro that somebody did. And
Point of order, Mr. Barbera. What's this got to do with budget and finance?
I don't know. It says public
I
comment.
saw them yesterday. They're pretty.
They are pretty, aren't they? Yeah. So by April, they're supposed to, he should be done by the end of April, and maybe either May or June they'll open.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Anyone else?
Oh, excuse me.
Vic, how are you feeling? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right.
You back to 100% or?
Close enough to not be dangerous by being too tired.
Did your son get COVID too, or?
Yeah,
He did? Oh, wow.
we're not sure who got it first or exactly where it came from, but we both got it.
Oh,
I can tell you this much. Italia said they went from 131 as of last Tuesday. By Friday that passed, that they were down. No, sorry, last Tuesday, and it just kept going down. As of this Monday, they were at 83
83.
inpatients. So it's dropped a lot.
And ICU or just regular inpatients?
Regular inpatient. ICU has dropped too, you know.
Good.
Yeah, so the percentage is going down, you know, so
That's good. Hopefully this crud is going to start to mellow out.
Okay, I think we've given enough time for public comment.
Okay. So
My apologies for taking a phone call, but my daughter's out of town and I needed to know everything was okay. So
back to the MER. We don't have one because they don't generate in the portal until the 5th of the month, generally, between the 5th and the 7th. So
okay, no worries.
So that means
there's going to have to be a motion. It's not out of committee. There'll need to be a motion,
Okay.
a second, and a vote. Okay.
now is that going to be for December's MER or January's?
January. We're
Okay.
always a month behind. So
Okay, well, because it says, I thought it said here for December.
oh geez, it does. Why does it say that? Oh, Christina changed it, but I didn't. I need to change it because it was a mistake on my agenda when I submitted it, and Christina changed it for me. And I need to change it on this, but yeah, it's supposed to be January. So I need
Good catch, Mr. Barbera.
sorry.
Hey, at my rate, the way today's been going, I've been catching everybody's mistake, even at the
he's
assistant's
on a
rate.
roll.
I
Okay, well, I don't have much time. Let's move
okay.
on.
So now the budget for January. And this is the budget. And we spent, Christina hadn't billed me for November or December, so we spent that for her. And then we moved the unallocated funds down to MPG out of outreach. So it left $6,619, which, stop it. and leaves a total of $1,282.14.
So candy cane did hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So Melanie, we're gonna have 30,000 and we're only spending 10,000 on neighborhood purpose grants. That's gonna leave you with 20,000 without many expenses coming up, and we can only roll over 10,000.
Right, but there's money being requested.
For what?
Well, the air cleaners, they're wanting to buy those air cleaners from the port. I've been in
I'm sorry, who's they?
the port committee.
They want to buy air cleaners for
Not
where?
air cleaners, but air monitoring systems.
For
Well,
where?
what?
To use where? On Zoom?
At people's homes.
At people's
To monitor
homes?
the air, they're like these purple air things.
I'm sorry.
Why are we paying?
Whose people's homes? What?
They're gonna want to place them at different board members' homes and monitor the air so that they can monitor, because there's high rates of cancer and high rates of COPD and they
What are
can-
you talking about? Are we gonna buy them for everybody in the Northwest San Pedro area? We don't buy.
That's what I told them, I told them what they needed to do. It's not for us to say yes or no. They have to send a proposal. They want to just take it to the board. And I says, you can't, you have to go through budget and finance. Send us a proposal, get us an appraisal.
Did
of
this
it.
come, I'm sorry, did this get approved in the port committee?
Yes, it did.
I'm sorry. Is it me or is this crazy?
Yeah, why are we paying for something like that? I don't understand. Well, how come Central ain't paying for it? Or
No,
Coastal?
it doesn't matter. You can't just randomly pick some people and say you're gonna buy something for their home.
Yeah,
They said that they're gonna put it at different houses and move it.
the
People
port's
are
got,
responsible for their own homes.
yeah.
What do you think?
We shouldn't be buying them.
I want to
First
hear
of
what
all,
Vic
It's
has
not
to say.
for us to decide, though. We're only the janitors, so to speak, the custodians and the board to decide. But the biggest loophole they're gonna have is that if it even meets criteria for the city clerk to have never,
Yeah. Did you actually get the request from them?
not yet, I had to,
Well, if they didn't turn it into you now, it doesn't get to be looked at the committee. It has to go through budget and finance.
right, but understand that through the phone calls, what the individual wanted to do was just take it to the board.
Well, just tell us who the individual is. Come on.
I'm not gonna say.
Okay, so well, there's only like 4 people on the port committee. So
well, it's either Christian, it's more than likely it's Christian that's doing this
Well,
because
okay, she's not gonna speculate.
I know that,
Okay.
but because if it was Goldfarb, he'd automatically come on and say something.
But we don't even need to look at it because you haven't received anything in
Right, I'm
writing
just
from the
saying, as
committee.
far as money, there is stuff in the works for money to request. I think
I'm
what we
sorry.
do,
I need a new oven. Could you get me one?
I think what we need to do is Chris needs to figure out whether or not he's gonna do that newsletter too.
Vic's raising his hand.
Nick, yes,
Well, you wanted to know what I thought.
Yes, I do.
My understanding is that they would be set up and they would not be at the same person's home forever.
right.
But
gonna do
they
that.
would travel from home to home for a month at a time, maybe more, whatever time period, to gather data on the air quality and then give that data to the port so they would know, where it's good, where it's bad.
Oh, like these people are experts at reading the data from an air purifier in their
Well, that's
home.
what I said, and I told him, they told me it was cut and dry. It's just right there that Jason, the guy Jason that's on the planning committee with Diana,
Jason Herring.
Jason Herring.
I guess he has one and he uses it to know when he can go run or not outside.
And who paid for that one?
His own, he bought it himself.
But
Okay.
really, aren't there studies out there from the equipment
I
companies?
guess
who make these?
supposedly the port has one, but it's broke and it's not up to date.
All
and-
right, you know what? I'm sorry. That's
I
so
don't
insane.
know.
I'm just gonna ignore.
I,
So.
And
Again-
until it gets
until it
submitted
gets
to
us
here, it
submitted
doesn't really matter much.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
until
you're
we-
right, Rick.
properly.
and we can turn it down too, so.
Well, no, we
cannot.
can't.
We cannot. We
All
have
we can
to
do is
do-
say we have
has-
money in the budget. Yeah.
The only way that we can turn it down is if I talk to Shauna and it's not something that falls in the guidelines of funding that
Now,
we,
what category would this fall in on the budget? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure.
Then maybe you should call Shauna and tell her. And ask her, because why are we paying for something that the port committee wants?
You know, I have an email into her requesting
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
a
Well,
telephone
I want to
call.
thank you for the afternoon giggle, so.
There's a email to her to have a conference call with her. So to find out.
Yeah,
Because
don't let,
Are they
Let me
okay
take
with,
my-
is the port committee okay with you going ahead and doing the research with the city clerk?
I didn't say, I told them that it was gonna go to the city clerk no matter when they send it to me.
I know, but you're sending something before you even have a motion
I'm
from them.
gonna
It's a little
have a-
premature.
Conversation about funding requirements with her about whether something like this would fall in the scope of neighborhood.
No, I understand what you're saying, and I understand the validity of that, but until we've received it from them, will somebody object that you're checking with
I
the
don't
city
think
clerk?
so, because in time crunch reasons, they're probably gonna want to send this last minute and then want it to come to our committee right away, and I'd like to vet it before it goes to our committee. As well as, if they could, if they insist on this, it may be better to do an MPG for this than direct funding from the neighborhood council. Having,
And what organization is the MPG going to be issued to, Melanie?
I don't know.
I'm making some notes. So air purifiers,
It's called Purple Air.
full air.
they're detectors, just like your smoke detector,
Oh,
your.
no, I know,
gas-
so as long as it's
Yeah.
not purple haze.
Yeah, they're monitors, they're not
They're
purified.
monitors. They aren't purifiers, they're monitors.
Yeah.
Air monitors. They're Purple Air monitoring system.
How many do you think they're gonna wanna buy?
There are 4 of them.
It's specifically for particulates too.
It's
not for-
specifically for particulates,
not for chemicals.
not for chemicals.
Melanie, your voice got very deep just now.
I know, Ted, because I had him look at it, Mr. Environmental.
Well, is this
Okay, well,
because
all
of the stacks, the refinery?
No.
Okay,
these-
well, listen, I'm gonna have to leave soon, so
Okay,
you guys
Yeah.
can chat all
let's
you
go
want on this.
the budget here.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I have no idea how much money that is. You still have an awful lot of money
It's like
here.
$1,200.
Okay, so you still have $30,000 here with $10,000 in NPGs, which gives you 20,000. Figure they're 1,200 even
Right,
if
but
it passes.
Christina's and the minute taker are gonna use almost all of this by the time we're done with the end of the year.
They're gonna use $9 or $8 or $7 or $8,000?
Yes, they will by the time they're done because.
Okay. So just to let you know that at outreach, so far, we've discussed that while there's another newsletter budgeted, until somebody tells us a good reason, we don't see a reason why.
And
we
Chris
should
wanted
spend-
to do those t-shirts.
No,
And-
I'm talking about the newsletter. We
I know.
don't, you don't see, Chris hasn't followed up with the t-shirt, so that's a non-issue. You don't have anything to look at. But as far as newsletters, okay, we have it a kind of on hold. We're not planning it. I'm not saying take it off the budget, but I'm just letting you know that unless somebody says, oh, we really should put one out because people need to know about blah, blah, blah. Isn't that what we talked about, John? That there was no
Yeah.
need?
Yeah, there's,
And there's really no need for t-shirts yet too, until you're meeting people.
Right.
And unless you just want to look good on the board meeting in a t-shirt or I don't know.
I'm just, what I think is as we get closer to the next couple of months, and Chris is gonna have to make a decision about the newsletter.
No, the outreach committee has to make a
I
decision.
mean, they need
Yeah.
a decision on it because if they
I'm
aren't
just,
gonna do it, then
right.
we need to take another 10,000 and do another, add it to the grants.
yeah, and you might get a request from the Cabrillo, whatever, for money for fireworks, and I
Right.
don't know anything else, so. All right,
but
So
wouldn't
we're-
that fall onto the new budget?
That
So
is
I make
sponsorship
I make
versus-
a motion to approve this budget.
Okay, move. Lori,
Second,
Second, Vic. All those in favor?
No, second me.
Oh, I thought that was Vic. John, all those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Hey,
Okay.
See, Vic's got that high voice.
boy.
is there anything else on the agenda?
No, talk about discussion and motion about criteria, recommend about application start and end dates. Why, wait.
Why is that on there? This is last month's,
This is the wrong agenda.
you've got the wrong agenda. This is the January agenda.
Oh God, I put up the wrong agenda. Oh Lord. help.
That's all, folks.
You know, Melanie, I think maybe you started digging into those Girl Scout cookies and having a sugar rush.
I'm having a brain dead moment here today.
Did you open some boxes? Huh?
No.
Okay.
Vic, and I was going to say you're the one on drugs all week, but I take it back.
Jeez, what the heck? What happened here?
You know, Ted slipping you something there, Miss Mel?
To be all honest, I haven't felt good all day. And so I think I'm just like having issues, to be serious.
We should stop the recordings.
Let me see here, just a sec. Oh Lord.
There you go.
Yeah, February.
February, and it's
Oh.
2222.
January.
It's
Look, there's
Tuesday.
yeah. Okay, let's start over. Let's go back to general public
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah, I think we need to start over.
Yeah, so discussion
Vic,
and update on MPG applications.
So there's no discussion. Well, March meeting,
Right.
you'll hopefully have some more.
And
So
then,
no, I did post it again and did ask Christina and Chris to start promoting it more. Just so you know, I did do
Okay.
that. And I don't know if anybody can think of any organization, that they'd like to send it to. I've sent it to Rainbow Shelter. I've sent it to Harbor Interfaith. And
Did you send it?
I'm surprised that like Feed and Be Fed isn't trying to submit.
I don't think they're active right now. That's on my list. They took kind of a hiatus on the neighborhood relief fund. It's not active right now. I had her take it off the website because
What about Meals on Wheels?
I don't think I'm not sure if I reached out to them or not. Mike's
Yeah.
been on medical leave, so
He's
Oh.
back now though, isn't he?
yeah, but actually it goes to Sue Beth. So Melanie, if you want to send it over to her, and I was trying to think of who we haven't given it to. That's why I sent it to Kelly. I don't have emails or information for any other schools.
I'm trying to think, well, Taper, but they
No.
needed money before, but then Steve Scrumbus was not able to do it. It was a mess when he applied because of the conflict of interest.
Well, I mean, Chris's wife works there, but that's still a conflict of interest,
But she's not the applying person.
right.
And,
So, well, you could ask Chris if he knows somebody, if he wants to send it to the principal.
Yeah, she's a
Can you
female.
think of any other organizations to kind of bring this to, any nonprofits or schools?
Trying to think. I thought of the Willenberg thing when you sent it to him. I
Yeah.
saw that and I'm like, oh, good, because I was thinking of them.
And I tell him each year, and then he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. So that's why I thought I put a phone call in. Wanted to make sure he still worked there, that I wasn't emailing somebody.
Can we, where the Assistance League is at?
Yes.
In an angle, if you're standing in front of the building, in an angle, there's I think it's a Presbyterian church.
We don't go to churches.
Well, no, but they're doing food stuff. I know they're doing meals for people.
Well, that's where the Meals on Wheels is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Sorry. No, I didn't know that. I thought they had their own facility.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're being helped anyway there, right there. Okay.
Yeah, and they've gotten a lot of funding, but yes.
Okay.
Trying to think what I wish. I was telling Pam that Boy Scouts should apply for something for assistance for getting some sort of up to speed up there or something.
Oh, it would have to be a project that made sense, and I don't know if that would go over so well.
Yeah,
And they're not in our area. I mean, they serve the whole community, and no
Yeah.
question that they do. And they're kind of really a mess right now. So,
no,
I mean, there's also can the parks apply, like Peck Park? And I don't know if they have any programs going.
they can't.
Oh,
I'm
because
not-
they're city. Okay. But can the county one? Which one's county? Dean Dana? They're
Mm,
county.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
You have to be a nonprofit and have a nonprofit ID to file.
Okay. You can't
So
be
it
a
have to go
government
like
agent.
through friends, they're friends of the park or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, you know, we could ask, well, yeah, I don't know Adrianita wouldn't know of any for school stuff that's going on.
No, she's in college now. She's not really, and
Yeah,
she's in
that's true.
college out of in like Long Beach or
Yeah,
I forget where she's at. So no, and we don't need to go to the Boys and Girls Club. It's
Yeah,
all right. Well, let's keep advertising, and maybe somebody will see it.
yeah.
And if not, we'll be giving $10,000 to the birds.
oh,
Just kidding.
yikes.
I'm gonna talk to Doug because they also are running neighborhood purpose grants, and he said that they hadn't received much either. See what organizations. So we didn't even hear from the what's it called, where Alan Franz is.
No,
The
that was
nature
great.
center. Yeah. I was saying, something like the San Pedro Boosters, the high school.
Yeah. Aren't they a nonprofit?
I think so. Well, I'll make a note, like to Jill Shundo. She's always sending me stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have
So,
to be a nonprofit, otherwise the principal has to sign it and all that.
well, she could do that. So for boosters or any other, I don't know much about how the boosters work. So I'll send her an email.
Okay.
I mean, that high school's, again, not in our area, but they serve our area. So
Right.
I think that's cool. All right. I can't think of any other ideas. So yeah, our meeting's early this month, the 2 weeks before the see, there's nobody sending reminders out to committees telling them when budget and finance is meeting and when they need to have their requests in.
Yeah.
But maybe that's because nobody's really, other than this thing that came up with Port, it really has any requests. You don't know of anything brewing.
And they aren't ready to submit it because they didn't.
Well, I mean, the meeting date's published, but we used to send reminders out to them, so.
Yeah, it's just they think that they can pass it as a committee and then they can use the money. And it can just go right to the board. And I had to.
Who thinks that? Oh, they mean the Port?
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, isn't Cynthia now on the Port committee?
yes.
Isn't she the one that accused us of trying to pass things straight from committee and not going through budget and finance?
Yes.
And made a big stink about it. Ha ha, I think it's funny.
And so did Craig.
No, well, Craig wasn't on. It was Bob, Brian, and Cynthia that complained when outreach, they felt that we were bypassing budget and finance and it must always come out of a committee first.
Yeah.
I thought
That's when
Craig
they-
said
that's when they
something
called-
shortly.
That's when they quit. They called us liars. So I know this meeting's being recorded, but I'm not saying anything that's not true. So,
Yeah.
well, we'll get to the bottom of this. They'll put their request in, and they'll go through the proper channels. And, if there's a way to make it happen and it's helpful to our community, then so be it.
Yeah. My biggest concern is whether or not it's an acceptable expense with neighborhood, with.
Uh,
with
Melanie,
fun.
you're gonna change the January date, right? Because it says 2021.
Yeah, that's the mistake that I did, was 2021 on there.
Okay.
Oh, he's just sitting here looking for mistakes, Melanie.
No,
He's
I'm
just
not.
sitting there
I
guessing.
just happened to look at it.
Yeah.
I fixed it down there. I had done it correct, but then I left 2021 up there, so it's like, So when it posted, Christina fixed it and then reposted it.
If you want to
Well,
blame,
Melanie, when you need more cookies, you call me. You don't call John, okay?
you know, but just remember this. I mean, Vic is rubbing off on me, so I'm sorry.
Oh, as far as
It
being eagle eyes.
Yeah, I'm learning from the teacher, so.
All right, well, I gotta go pick up 15 more cases of cookies.
Oh, Lord.
I sold through everything.
Oh, you sold everything?
Just about, yeah. So, and I'm gonna be out of town, so I need to get them. So they sell themselves.
Have the girls sold them too, or?
No, they're selling them. Everybody's selling. Yeah.
Are those the cookies that you had that they sell, or are
No,
those?
I'm not the cookie chair. I got somebody to take care of it. And I buy my own inventory and sell, and then I allocate my sales to the girls because.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
So
Oh, that's cool.
before I ordered like 8 or 9 cases the first time, and now I'm ordering 15 because they're selling so quickly.
Oh,
So-
wow.
And I don't mind because whatever I don't sell, I will donate. So it's all good.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yeah, my girls are doing fantastic too, you know.
they
Uh,
always do. Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you guys continue. I gotta jet.
I may have more cookies that I need from you because my mom said something about.
Okay, just let me know. I'm going, we'll be out of town, leaving on Sunday. So
Okay.
just- Oh, you guys have a good rest of the meeting. Good to see
All
you
right.
all. Glad everybody's kind of surviving.
cool.
Alrighty,
Okay, see you later.
See you
Bye.
later. Bye.
Lori. So anybody else have anything to go over?
Not really.
A request for money from any other committees other than the one future one coming up, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, and she's right though. I mean, we got that much money if we don't go through it, you know, but if we have to, if there's still money, maybe we can throw another 5,000 onto the MPGs, you know. Because what we gotta have, we can only keep 10,000 to allocate to the next budget.
1,000, that's it.
Yeah.
But the other thing we can consider, if we have a lot of extra money left, this is something that was brought up to me, and we can propose this if there's a lot of extra money left, is purchase a new laptop, because ours is starting to get a little bit straggly for when we meet in person,
That's true. And you know what else we need?
and let him sign it out for use, but to get Christian through these next few months that he's president, so he has a laptop to use instead of his phone, to use that laptop to do meetings.
Okay. The other thing too is we could never find the blue tablecloth. We never found it.
Oh, really?
We don't know who has it or where it's at. Lori's looked everywhere, garage and in how everywhere. We even went over there and looked, and I still got the key. But
So those are the type of things we can do too. We can buy things that we need for the neighborhood.
Yeah.
council.
because if we do any other things that come up, like when we did the Candy Cane Lane, we didn't have a tablecloth that, that showed our frontage, so we need to,
You go to outreach, you could talk to them about suggesting we buy a new tablecloth.
right. And that's what I'll bring up at our,
If he wants to do those t-shirts while we have the money, he needs to get going with it.
well, he said he was going to talk to the Williamsburg guys,
And he was working on the design.
yeah.
And then it just all fell apart. And I told him that the proposal has to all be put together for a estimate and all of that. and the design and then send it to us because I have to send it to the city clerk for approval.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell him when he goes to do
But
because I remind him,
we may not have the same money next year, you know?
right? No, yeah, I mean, come July, they might say, look, you're only getting now 25,000,
Right, exactly.
you know, because because you don't need it. There's no, with COVID, you can't do any this and that. Well, there will be probably the candy cane lane and the parade again, but you know, but you still,
The thing is though, if if they start cracking the budget and they said that the budget's going to be really tight, they may reduce neighborhood council funds more.
yeah,
If they do that, you know, we may not have the funding that we have now in order to do t-shirts next year.
Right.
So if you don't do them now, you may not be able to do them next year.
right, right. Okay,
I suggest they do them. The other thing is that the newsletter, they need to decide if they're going to do the newsletter or not.
okay,
Because we need to determine how much money we're going to have left as we're coming on February now, because we'll only be able to roll over $10,000. That's it.
yeah,
So
okay.
anyway,
Okay. I don't know what else.
I don't know.
know.
I think we're pretty well done. I get to go to Hank tonight, and hopefully they have that thing that I can share, the new code of conduct that we can weigh in on it at our.
Oh, okay,
Well,
that would be good. Yeah,
so
that's right. Hank's tonight.
yeah, Hank's tonight, and so I've got
But
to.
send the code of conduct if you get it.
I will. I'll send it over tonight after the meeting.
Hey,
Oh.
Vic, they put the right date back.
It's on the agenda.
The right date? What do you mean?
My funding.
Oh, yeah, what I didn't reply
Like the
to
second or third time.
when Thomas sent his email is changing it's easy. The apparent trick is to keep it there.
Yeah. Well, you saw what I said, you know,
Yeah.
and and I mean, yeah, Mel, we had to do it twice.
Yeah,
At least.
I even had to send him the certificate again that I saved. Thank God I saved it. And I sent it to Octaviano, and Octaviano straightened it out. It was fixed. And then a week later, Vic calls me and says, hey, dude, it's back to 2021. Like, okay.
I don't know what their problem is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a software thing, a person thing, or what, but
somebody's got happy fingers and not
Yeah.
and changing the wrong stuff or something.
But yeah, so. And it's a good thing I got the email that said, thank you for the, attending the funding class and everything and giving me my paperwork.
Yeah.
So.
You got to hang on to that.
Oh, I save it. Yeah.
I went through for doing that able thing, I wasn't getting credit for it forever. And I went back and forth, and also my code of conduct taken it. I wasn't getting credit. I kept sending it to Octaviano, the certificate for finishing.
Yeah.
As you finish, I took a screenshot of it and sent it to him, and he's like, I don't know why it's just not registering in there, and blah, 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 blah. And then the able thing, it wasn't giving me credit for that either. And so I sent it to rosters and to Octaviano, and finally they corrected that. And I was the only one that had done it. It's like for the last time.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's
done that now, the able training,
the what everybody's done it. No.
the anti-bias.
Yeah. I think there's still maybe, I think 3-4 people that hasn't done it.
yeah, there are a few.
Yeah, there's a few. I remember looking through it, and I think there's it's either 3 or 4 or 4 or 5 that haven't done it.
Let's see.
And then Chris still hasn't done his ethics thing or whatever, funding training or whatever it is that he needs to do.
Well, or at least it hasn't gotten updated if he has. There are four that show as not having taken the ABLE training.
Yeah, see,
So what are the consequences of that?
Exactly. There's no incentive to take it whatsoever because they haven't stated any consequences.
yeah,
They said that it's a required training, but
But what?
what?
So if you don't take it, you can't do what? Apparently nothing.
well, from what I read that time, if you don't take it, you can't, I think you can't go to any of the meetings.
It doesn't say anything anywhere about what happens if you don't take the training.
Right,
And I haven't
Yeah.
asked the question because then we might get an answer. I mean, they say it's required, okay. But what happens if you don't take it? You know, if you don't take the funding training and the ethics, then you can't vote on funding stuff. If you don't take, you know, any of those other three trainings, there are things you can't do. But there's so far has been nothing about what happens if you don't take the ABLE training.
Right.
exactly.
So I've just been, keeping my mouth shut. And
How many people, are you one of them that hasn't taken it or have you taken
no,
it?
I've taken it. I was the second one that took it after you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I don't know.
I mean, not right after you. It was like a week or so, but I was still the second one.
Yeah, and John, I think, took it right away too, right after they announced it.
Yeah, I did.
Gwen said she took it. Did she go take it finally? She said she was going to.
Oh, hang on. The ones who have not taken it according to this chart are Angela,
Dave Semperio.
Adrianita, Dave Semperio, and Alex Norman.
Oh, wow.
Everybody else, well, and of course the vacant seat person, but we don't know who
Right.
that is yet. And I would say it's pretty much guaranteed that whoever gets there hasn't taken it.
Right.
So let's see. But yeah, everybody else has taken it.
Hmm.
Gwen was December 13th.
Yeah, she told me. And it
Yeah,
was
you were November 1st and I was November 11th.
yeah.
And I think I was November 28th,
29th.
29th. Okay.
But somebody else beat you to it. Tom Norman got November 15th.
Oh, wow.
And somebody else also was on November 29th.
Who?
Has the same name as me.
Oh,
Am I right, Vic?
You are correct.
Yeah, I see that. I saw that.
anyway.
I mean, it wasn't, I mean, it's like anything. I had to take one for the Assistance League. I had to do
Ethics type thing or child?
no, the child one. Yeah, the
Yeah.
child abuse.
Yeah. Anytime you're around kids and stuff like that, you have to do that.
Oh
For the-
yeah.
And it's insurance thing too.
Yeah.
So it was good. So most everybody got like, I think 90, like 92, 90, Of course, I only missed one question.
In New Jersey, they made you do that for being like Girl Scout leaders and stuff like that. You had to do that, and you had to be fingerprinted.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? I've been fingerprinted so many times that Interpol knows me just by heart. Well, when you work, I worked at the airport since 1977. I started there. And transactions, different companies, on and off, on and off. But then, I had 17 years with Continental. So every time you go there, you had a new badge, fingerprint, so then they had the state of the art ones, you didn't have to do the paper thing, and then they mail it off, and then now Department of Airports spent something like 1 point something million for all these huge
Where we
square box
I
machines.
went and got the TSA Global thing, where you don't have to stand in the big security lines. You can get all your background check done and get fingerprinted and all that. And you have a number that recognized travel number and all that they use for you.
Go ahead.
So when they fingerprinted you, when we went down to the office for our appointment to get our background checks and to do the fingerprinting and the interview, because you have to do an interview too, and they ask you where you traveled, where you're traveling, where you plan to travel, all of that. But when they do the fingerprints, it's weird because you put your fingers in this machine and they do like a couple of fingers like this, and then they do them like one hand at a time, and it's like full hand fingerprints and different fingers at a time that they take pictures of in this machine. It's really
Yeah, it's like that's how it is at Department of it. You would stick, the machine is big, and then you would stick your right hand in first. Then it would light up under the thumb. You had a certain way that you had to keep your fingers straight.
Right.
And then it would light up.
Fingers and then the thumb.
Right.
And then
it would show green light, green light, green light, red light, green light. And then you just have to have your finger back. Whichever one didn't light up green, that's the one. And then when we used to go, when we had to get our what's it called? Customs seal.
Right.
Now we had to go to Tom Bradley. You go to the customs office, right?
Right.
And they take a photo of you. They get the fingerprinting from, Department of Airports. They send them, they go into the computer because it's all logged in. They get that part, but they would do a photo of you, and they ask you, your mother and father, where they from, where they're born, what was their maiden names,
Right.
and all of that stuff, And so, yeah, it's just amazing. And then it would take 10 days to get that. And so we can get because if you don't have a custom seal, you can't, like if something broke down at Tom Bradley, we couldn't go fix it if we didn't have a custom seal.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Having a travel number though, and doing that, going to Hawaii, we went around, even for Hawaii traveling, for LAX, we didn't have to stand online. We cut and went around everybody. It was.
Hey guys, we're done, right?
Yes,
yeah, let's stop the recording.
Probably be